Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again to another episode of This Is My Opinion. I'm your host, as always, Kayo. And then, again, guess what time it is to record new videos because the ones that I recorded before is already over. So, I like my timing. I like my timing. Every single time that I run out of videos for you guys, I just record more. Don't say that. Magic. And yeah, if everything works today, we're gonna have a lot of things. So we're gonna have games. We're gonna have let's see. We're gonna have anime. We're gonna have games. We're gonna have series. We're gonna have maybe a music. I don't know. Let's see what the destiny is calling us for. So let's start the first one. Okay, let's start with the first one. See you. Hello there. Hi. This is my opinion. Welcome to another episode for you guys. This channel is basically me telling my opinion about stuff. And today's stuff is going to be this thing. Is it called Space Force? Is a Netflix series. I watched that I think a couple months ago. I finished the second season with my wife. And to be completely honest with you guys, the first season I had a blast. It was fun. It was happy. Remember me? It reminds me a lot of like The Office, like the couple like season 3 of The Office ish. And then it came the second season of Space Force, and was bad. It was really really bad. So I really don't like to follow the ratings of the IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes are low. I don't know why it's that low. I mean, it wasn't that funny, but it didn't deserve a 39%. I guess I go with like the audience score because for me it is like a 7, 6.5, 7. So it wasn't that bad. But again, it could be worse. The first season it was genuinely fine and fun, and the start of the second season it was like going down a hill. I think the ending of the second season was good as well. So it looks like when they are finally getting on the rhythm again of the jokes and everything, they the series was over and was canceled because the second season it wasn't that bad. So it was that bad. But yeah, what is the what is basically the series is about? Is about like the that guy from The Office. Everybody loves Steve Carell. He is basically tasked with a space force. It's basically another branch of the government that deals with space stuff. And then you follow up the this very strict general with a basically a made up title, call it Space Force, like doing taking care of the space in like US space ish. And the first season was really good because they have like a perfect balance with the comedy itself and the space stuff. The second season was bad because they didn't have like any timing. They tried to replicate the charm of the first one, but they failed miserably. And the vibe that I got was they knew what they were doing, but they were like too afraid. And after a couple of while, you see like the agenda coming forth the series as well. You see like a woman getting more and more position of power, and the old-fashioned white guy don't know what they're doing. So the progressive daughter knows what's better for her to invest in crypto or some kind of shit. But for me, it was more a waste of potential than anything else because what what I think this TV Corral tried to make was something of a military The Office. Like it was literally trying to uh, have a The Office 2 ish because they are in office. Like in that Space Force area is an office. Like. And that's why I really like the first season. And again, if you're just watch the first season and ignore the second one, you're gonna have like a good time. If you like The Office, there's basically The Office with a space team on the background. And it was on Netflix, so if you have a Netflix, I think you should try it. And if you want to laugh, probably you're gonna have fun. But again, stop, watch it because the first season ending on a cliffhanger. So probably watch it the first season and watch the first 3 episodes of the second one, and then forget about it because it's not worth it. I love the Steve Carell character. The John McAvoy character was good too. I hate this guy. I don't know why, but I hate his acting, and he's basically like a social media manager of the Space Force, and I hate that guy. I don't know if it was the intentional, but every single time that he show up on the screen, I was basically like, oh, fudge, let's go again. The yeah, again, could be better. I don't know why they messed it up so bad the second season. It was literally just continue the good work of the first one. And yeah, I think that is like very short and sweet of a review since I don't have much to talk about it. So yeah, see you on the next one. This is my opinion. Bye bye. Hello there. Welcome to another episode of This Is My Opinion. And I'm your host, as always, Kyle. Nice to meet you. And today we're going to talk about a very special game that I found out with PlayStation Plus because most of the games that I play it was from the PlayStation subscription because I don't really like to buy games. I mean, if it is like a very special one, as you're gonna see, like a very boom of I need to buy that game, I'll go there and buy it. But most of the time, I just play the ones they give it us for free because I'm not very that selected. I play a lot, but this was a great surprise. The game of the time that I'm gonna talk about today is Tunic. This game, it was surprisingly fun because the whole dynamic of Tunic is you're this little guy and you're basically don't know anything about the game, literally anything. So the way that this game works is uh, you have those dungeons and you have like to kill the bad guys and walk for the story. But the fun part about Tunic, and the thing that for me it was like completely groundbreaking. I'm gonna lower down a little bit the volume. Is you have those 3D worlds. They just let you there. Deal with it. You don't have any controls. You don't have any map. You don't know which anything happens. But the main point is you're going through the map exploring. You don't know even how to read, but you're going through the map and you're collecting things. And most importantly, let me see if he show it. Most important, you're gonna collect pages of the manual. In collecting those pages, is open up more possibilities because now you have maps. Now you know how to read. Now you know, like, oh, if you're turn this corner that is basically you cannot see it because it's behind a pillar, you can go through it and it's like a shortcut. And the whole thing's, oh, thanks IGN for the gameplay because I didn't record mine. And the whole thing is you're exploring the island and getting stronger because your knowledge of the world makes you stronger. And it's a very fun puzzle game that you're gonna die a lot, and then you're gonna make your way further into the island and further into the mysteries because you learn things. You're gonna learn about the characters, you're gonna learn about the enemies, and you can access I don't know why it didn't show here, but map. Because the whole thing is you have you have this map. I want to show you the manual of the game, not the map itself. Like here, you have the map, and you're gonna find like little dots, and the map is gonna show up more and more with the passage, with things that you can do. Here, yeah, this is a picture of the manual. I know this is a little bit spoiler, but the whole point is this is like the page 28. So you're gonna find this page on the world map, and now you're gonna know, oh, here you have a Eastern Bell. These enemies are slimes that you can find here. Oh, the captain of the guard. Oh, you can find a sword here. And then you're gonna keep going with the game, and the game, basically the experience that you have in the game is how about you know the game. You can literally skip all the trouble if you know where the pieces are, because the puzzle of the game is puzzling up together the whole map and the whole mysteries around Tunic. I'm gonna be completely honest. You see, this is another one example. You have a map, but now you know that you have, oh, you have to do like this you have like to do this route to get out of this room. Oh, be careful here because probably you have a trap. And everything around Tunic is with those maps and trying to figure it out, the puzzles. Oh, here you have a secret elevator that's gonna take you somewhere. And all of those things that you can basically learn with the map and learn the game together with the main character are awesome. Not gonna lie, the game is a puzzle, and I'm not very good at a puzzle games because I'm very impatient. Here's another map, for example, that you can see like more. Skip it so you don't take spoilers. So basically, here is the main map. And you have all those pages that here you have the whole Tunic. Come on. Come on. This is professional. That is why I'm having so much trouble, because I'm 100% know what I'm doing. So basically you have the manual that you have like to figure it out, the things. Oh, you have a physical version. That is nice. And a spoiler. And it's basically a shortcut for the game, but it's nice. And you're gonna figure it out, you're gonna fight bosses, you're gonna get stronger, and you're gonna learn about your environment. So that's a great gameplay loop, but the game is hard. In one point I couldn't figure it out where should I go, so I just look for it. Or further into the game you have like to input like a ginormous code to find like a secret entrance. And then I just Google it, and even Googling it was hard because you need like to go like with a lot of arrows and everything. But again, the fun that I have with this game was discovering everything. Like it's an adventure that you don't know anything and you don't have any guides. So I think that it was very particular because of it, because they're not holding your hand. You're walking through the game and discover things as the first time you're doing. So you basically have the book with codes across the book itself. The text is gonna to be like review like part from part, and you have like the whole story about the world and everything. So this is basically spoilers. So you have like to find the pieces and everything where to put it. It was a great game. It was a great game. I can easily give an 8 for it because the whole point is how you gonna experience this adventure. My suggestion is go blind. Just I mean you're not going completely blind because you see this video, but I'm trying not to spoil. So just go blind there and trying to figure it the shit with you. And if you're hit a brick wall, you spend like 30 minutes. Come on, you can spare 30 minutes in a game trying to figure it out the puzzle. And if you're seeing that you're not going anywhere, you can look for that specific code that you can find in that specific area. And then you pass this brick wall and then continue have fun, and when you face another brick wall just do it all over again. The game is not hard itself. You have some challenging bosses because it's like kind of like the Legends of Zelda like, but it's not nothing impossible. It's not hard. It's not Dark Souls that you need like to memorize precisely everything, except the final boss. The final boss was a pain. But if I can do it, you can do it as well. You have like hacks, some hacks that is not hack. Is basically a easier way to kill the boss that helped me with the last one because the last one was crazy. But after that, it's just like fun. That's why is an 8 is an easy 8 for me. 8, 8, 8. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hello, hello. I didn't see you there. Yes, I saw you. And in today's episode, we're gonna talk about another video game. Would you look at that? Oh my god. And the game that we're gonna talk about today, you already seen the name of the on the title of the video. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show it to you. Is the Puck Squire. Good things and bad things. I think the idea of the Puck Squire is a great idea. The Puck Squire is basically you're trying to. It's been a while since I played this game, and again, PlayStation give it for free. Thank you, PlayStation. I'm gonna watch the IGN game. Thank you, IGN, for the gameplay as always. But the whole idea is you're this Puck Squire, and you're reading a book. And on that book, the story goes on every single time that you pass pages. So every area is a page that in your book. I love this idea. They are a very childlike game. That's why I think they went easy on it. But the whole plot twist of this game, you have like platforms and you have a 3D view. You have some special encounters, like for the ending of like a boss-ish, the boss that you fight is a different type of gameplay. So I think this is very, very creative. So for the first one is like a boxing game that you have like to dodge it and then punch it on the right part. So as you can see, you have like a boxing thing. So you can like go around, hooks, jabs, and everything. So that's itself makes the gameplay more creative. And and all of this is just the prologue. The prologue is like kind of big because you're gonna meet your friends until you fight the evil wizard. Where's that? Oh, they already fought the evil wizard, and then I missed my thing. So the whole thing is you can pick up the words, and then you change the shape of the world because it's a book. So what is written on the book, you can change it. So that is very fun and very creative. It's very, you have like a lot of puzzles that is like that. And then, yeah, you have to fight the wizard because the whole part of the game happens when you fight the Humgrum, the evil wizard. What he does is basically casting you out of your own book. So by doing that, you're basically on our real world, and then you can interact a different with a different scenario. So here is a trailer for it, and then you can come across different types of books, but you always have to come back to your own story to figure that out. But my criticism on this is you're so limited because these sections you could have done so much more. Because again, I imagine because it's a children's book and supposedly a children's game, he didn't want to be like that complex about it. But you can have like so much more. So you have like the Paper Mario type of gameplay as well. But you could have done so much more. Come on, make him go to another books, make him go to another worlds, change the completely, because you have change of gameplay. Like I said before, you have your 2D world in your book, and you have your 3D world outside of your book. But in the bosses, you basically enter in this, and now it looks like you're entering like in a magic card, and you're fighting with the rules of that universe. But that's only happened like once every chapter, and that's it. You never do it again. So for me, why not make you visit new cards, or visit new books, or do another type of things, or go darker, or open the more creativity around it instead of just focusing on your children's book. I know that you're trying to reach a very specific target audience, like children. That's why you don't want to be that complex. But again, the potential is so huge. Every single time that I was playing, I was thinking, okay, where the story goes, and the story just go back to the same book, to doing the same stuff again. You see, you have like the fight before that was similar to an RPG battle, and now you have like a shooting thing. So you see, you have creativity. You see the arrow, the bow is like a different texture because it is from another universe. But after this, he never uses the bow again. And this for me is such a waste of potential because you have so much more going on your game for you to just give it up and go back to the basics. Go back to fighting with your sword and changing words to solve some very easy puzzles. But in the end, why you couldn't expand more? That is my whole thing. For me, I give it an easy 7 because the potential was so huge there that I was really sad when it finished. Because here, you go 3D, you go in a mug to fight in the universe of the mug. But is that it? You don't have like any weight to it. So sometimes in the story you have like a Deus Ex Machina going on with the wizard because the wizard just show up and solve all the problems. Okay, that's fine. It's a children's book. But come on, if you're gonna explore the outside world, make it more fun. Making the Buck Squire go into the different books, or learn different powers from different books, or use the gameplay, a different gameplays that you already have in your games more than once, because I love it. The card game, I love the shooting arrows, but you just use it once, never again. I love the boxing, use it one, never again. I understand that you're trying to diverse things, but using the assets and all the controls that that you already have more than one, I think was a better way to explore and make the Puck Squire stronger, because he's basically the same guy from the beginning of the adventure in the end of the adventure. So make him learn new techniques that he discovered on those random worlds, and make those random worlds like interchange the real world, or interchange the storybooks that the Puck Squire is on it. And but that is just like, again, let me go back. This is my opinion in most of those things, and uh, that is the most interesting thing that I can say about the Puck Squire, because the whole thing is, when you're trying to make a game. I again, I don't know the story about the things that you have on the Puck Squire itself, like the development games, but I have a sense that they wish to do it more. I don't know, because you have so many different things that you could have done, and you just didn't. Do you understand what I mean? This is, again, my opinion, and that was basically it. That is why I really love the. I mean, the story itself is very basic because it's from a children's book, but I love the dynamics and all those things that you could have done with the Puck Squire, with the idea of going outside your own book and exploring the world. But the problem is, they always were going back to their own book and not exploring more the things they have. So that's why, for me, for Puck Squire to be better, they needed to be more mature. Like, make the Puck Squire learn with his mistakes and understand that his book is a very childish version of the world that the person suffers, and the pain and death and everything. But again, that goes to a totally different direction. And yeah, again, this is my opinion. That was Puck Squire. So thank you so much. See you on the next one. Bye. Yeah, just addressing the chat, because the whole thing is for, I don't know if Ankimator is watching again, but this is basically my way to have an idea behind the thoughts that I have. So the media that I consume, I'm basically reviewing, and I'm reviewing for the future, because I basically create videos from it and then post it on my channel. Yeah, thank you so much for being here and just going past my stream, but that was my idea. So when I was like focused on talking about a topic, I'm basically creating a video. That's why I couldn't respond to you. But yeah, I guess that happens. So let's go to the another one. Welcome to a great episode that I really wanted to do it about it. I finished this game, I think 2 months ago. I bought it last year. I bought it basically on release, because I'm sucker for Atlas and for the games they make. And the game that we're gonna talk about today is Metaphor Fantasia. I love this game. 9 out of 10. Out of the gate. Almost perfect. Because I grew up playing Persona 4. I played Persona 4, then Persona 3, waited years, released Persona 5. I played Persona 5, and I started to play the Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, and yeah, that was fine. But the whole thing is, when I learned about the metaphor, I think was in the Xbox trailer, like Xbox blah blah blah. I was hooked because of the idea of revolution and a new world that is finally not just Persona or Shin Megami Tensei. It was great for me. Again, thank you IGN for the gameplay. And the whole game was beautiful. Love the dynamics, love the characters, love the battle system, and love the road trip vibe that you have from this game because you're basically running across the world doing this competition. So let's rewind and go back. What is Metaphor Refantasio? Metaphor Refantasio is an RPG, a Jain RPG, so you have battles in turns, and is basically a Persona like type of game. But the story is way more grand and more impactful ish than the usual Persona. Because Persona, you're very isolated in a country, in a city. So, for example, in Persona 5, that is one of the most famous Atlas game of all time, you're basically on that city. You hang out with your friends, you create bounds, you create social links, and then you're going up against minor crimes out of your society. In Metaphor Refantasio, you're starting the game as a nobody that wants to solve a murder attempt against a prince. And you're going to that city that you don't know anybody, trying to find an informant, secret agent of your congregation ish, for trying to solve the problem, trying to solve the prince's murder. And then you're just start your adventure, and then of course, you're the chosen one. You're the special one that have like a very special type of magic because nobody can use magic alone. They needed to use like items to summon the magic itself. But you're special. You can use your archetype. Basically, you can use your persona because they functionality of those ones are very similar. But a good thing about Metaphor, different than Persona, is you can customize your archetypes from your party. So you don't need to, for example, you don't your in Persona you can always change your personas, but you cannot change your party members. In this game you can. So you can make a scramble. You can make everyone the tank. You can make everyone a healer, everyone a mage, or a combination of it. Everyone a thief. And that's very fun because you open up way more opportunities and way more types of strategies that you can use in battle. And here you have your basically battle screen. So you can attack, you can use your archetype, that is basically your magic-ish, your summon. You can make an attack together with your group. And the whole thing about this is basically they took the Persona 5 type of battle and improving on it. And they mix it with the Shin Megami Tensei, because those shards are Shin Megami Tensei like, but the battle strategy is Persona like. So in the middle of the battle, Persona you basically attack. If you're crit or if you're hit a target weakness, you can always attack again, one time. But in this one, you have those shards that is basically the amount of people that you have in your party. So if you have three shards, it's basically you have 3 people in your party. But if you're hit a weakness, instead of you're losing a crystal, you lose half crystal, so you can basically act twice. So you can, instead of acting 4 times, that is the max. So you have the protagonist plus 3. You have 4 shards. Instead of attacking 1 each, if your composition of your party is great and your strategy is on point, you can act 8 times, not 4 and 4. But not just that, because you have stronger abilities that you can basically do like a dual summon and make a stronger attack, but it's gonna cost you 2 moves. But if you hit the weakness, instead of 2, it's gonna cost half and half. So you can still do it again or attack more times. And this game is hard. It's I'm not gonna say that it's hard, like very very hard, but the learning curve is steep. So you're playing the game easily. I mean, I played the game easily until like midpoint, because the whole point is you go in. So the midpoint of the game, after the midpoint of the game, the curve was basically a vertical climb of difficulty. Even if I was farming, even if I was doing like every side mission, sometimes I still hit a brick wall and I just, okay, I'm going back to farming and come back again later. But the continuing the story is you go there, some random things happen, and you're basically running for the next king of the country. And that's a brilliant premise, because now, instead of just being a high schooler, instead of just being like a person lost in the apocalypse that is the Shin Megami Tensei, you're a person running for king. So you need to visit different countries, like different provinces, trying to raise it up your status, because you start as a nobody, and the game plays on, and in the end, you're the main character, so you needed to be the king. You're growing your bonds and you're growing the relationships with the people, so you're becoming more known. And that's great, because you have so many. In this game, they touch in so many different points. I can have. I don't want to spoil that much, so that's why I'm just gonna take like a reference. I'm not going to explain on details, but you can talk about honor with Stroll. You can talk. I mean, Stroll honor Stroll is more like obligation. You can talk about honor with the Hugenberg. You can talk about difference on ideologies with this guy, with Hemsing. I don't know. I don't recall his name, but the topic with him is fulfillment, because he's a creator, so it's more about fulfillment. And every single character that you meet on the game, they touch on a different point of the society that we live on it. And the beautiful part is the huge monsters that you fight against it. They call it humans. So that is it's a punch in the guts, basically trying to express themselves and saying, "You see, humans, we are the monsters in this world." And the funny part is, since you have a lot of different races, guess another topic they talk about: racism. Literally racism, because of the different types, and you're an elder child, so you're basically the more human-like species that you have there, so everybody hates you. And that is a great premise for a game. And the game just goes on and on. Of Atlas games, the relationship I think was one of the easiest ones to complete. I usually try to make the social link, basically the relationship between the party members, the highest possible. In this game, I done it without even trying. At my first gameplay, I was friend with every single character on the game that you can be friends of in the max level. And that is a huge thing for me because I never make it on Persona or in Shin Megami Tensei, because usually you needed to finish the game it a first time so you can have like all your status on the max, so you can unlock easier ways to talk with your comrades, because most of the time when you get like a level 5 or level 6 of the social link there, they're gonna ask, oh, you need to be more bold, or you need to have like more intelligence to talk with the people to push the story forward. But in this game, the rhythm of the things was so good that I basically, I faced some walls saying, "Oh, you need to increase your intelligence." Yes, but since I don't have intelligence now, I'm gonna talk to this another character, and increase my social link with them instead, and that worked beautifully. It looks like they nailed it perfectly, the timing of the social links events, because every single day I have a new thing to do, I have a new thing to explore, I have a new status that I want to upgrade, and the rhythm of the game was awesome. And the game goes basically, you this is a human, so you walk around the city, you talk with people, you can buy items, and you have a calendar as well, like every good Atlas game. And every Sunday ish, because they name it Sunday a different name, you have discounts on all the markets, so you can program yourself like to trying to visualize your route into the dungeon, get out of the dungeon, goes back to the city, and buy the stuff on the same calendar days, because going to a dungeon and out takes time. And that's awesome because you're not just like taking a train, you're just walking there or taking your huge car there. And then everyone have, so the main character is the only, so the how can I say that, the weapons that you can use change with your archetype. So everybody can wield anything. You change your archetype, you change your weapons and everything. For me, I max out, since I max out all the social links, all my archetypes was in the max. Like I achieved the best archetype, like the main archetype, max level for every one of my companions, and it was great. And the graphics, the whole world, it was so beautiful to look at it. The menus, the transition between menus, the whole set pieces. Look at it. The menus, the style that you have on this game is amazing. Every single thing about these games round oozes style, oozes care, because you see how different it is, the menus, and when you go down you see like different parts of the body or different faces, and you see different artwork, and I love this artwork. And I love the idea of you're showing the characters because they are different species. And the fun part is, since you're the main character and you need to unite the kingdom, all of your party is a different species. And to see the difference in attitudes and the difference of gameplay and the difference of the stories and the culture that you find on those ones are great. Again, the anime part, I'm not gonna even tell. Beautiful as always. Love it every single second. And the idea of archetypes, that is because you're the main character, so your power is basically you can make the other person's, how can I say, uncover their true selves, kind of like a persona, like find their goal in life ish, that release their archetype. And look at this. Look at it. Tell me that is not stylized, oozing style, oozing personality. Because I'm terrible with names, but I remember this guy, shit. And I can still recall like the situations, recall the powers, and the music is amazing. I cannot put it here because I'm afraid they're gonna copyright strike the video. But listen to the music yourself. Again, it's from Persona and from Shin Megami Tensei, so you know that the music's gonna be amazing. And I cannot sing more praises about this game. Oh, I forget to say they implemented like a real time battle phase. Instead of just going, you can, if you have a higher level, you can hit the monsters and kill them even without going onto this phase. And they released it on my birthday, November 10th. I love it. And all of those things, you see so much care. And that's why for me, Metaphor Refantasio is a easy 9.5. I cannot give a 10 because, let's see, why not I cannot give a 10? Fuck it, it's my channel. I give Metaphor Refantasia a 10 because I cannot. Oh, I know why I cannot give a 10. I'm gonna give them a 9.5 because I'm pretty sure 3 years from now they're gonna release a Metaphor Refantasia Final Cut or Metaphor Refantasia Discovery that is gonna expand the world. You're gonna add like new characters and everything, and it's gonna be like a final definitive version, like Atlas always does with their games, like Persona 4, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5, Persona 5 Royal, uh, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. This is gonna be Metaphor Refantasia Fantasy again, or crazy shit like that. So that's why I'm not gonna give it a 10 because it's not a complete game from Atlas. That's a pain in the ass, but I love every second of that game. I put like more than 100 hours on it, and doesn't feel like it. So if you can and you like RPGs, I couldn't recommend more. And again, this is my opinion, and as always, thank you so much for listening to me. And remember, uh, what I can tell about Metaphor Refantasia is my experience with it. So please leave the comment, tell me what you think about the game. And most important of it is remember to be, which, mm, how can I say, remember to be kind. I think this is the most important message of Metaphor Refantasia, because sometimes people are lost, and just being kind with them, you can goes a long way. And that's why for me I think is a good thing that you can learn with Metaphor. And yeah, thank you so much. See you on the next one. Bye.
I wish I could.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of This Is My Opinion. And as you can see, we're gonna talk about music again. I really like to show up channels and show up bands that is way bigger than me, because sometimes I just listen songs on Spotify without paying much attention on it, like the Discover Week, and I find some musics that really change my life because I keep listening then on repeat, and that's not different than Livingston. Livingston. Yes, this guy. Again, as always, subscribe. Uh, the three songs that we're gonna talk about the Livingston today is gonna be Other Side, Shadow, and Half Alive. Uh, that is my main problem is I don't remember if I listen uh, one of those two are the first music that I listened to him, and then I just fell in love, and I couldn't look back, and I basically get addicted to it. So I'm gonna say this one was my first one, and again, these three songs are my favorite ones. But if you go to his channel and look for different musics, I think like which one was it again? It was just believe me, I really like this this guy, and I really think that you should give it a try. So that's why. Oh, this one is awesome. Brainstorm, and he have like awesome hits that I'm basically. This one is good. And again, if I could choose, I probably would choose like 5 or 6. The song's good. 5 or 6 songs of them, but I want to be consistent, so I just choose 3 because that's what I always do. I try to be consistent because these videos is already like too long. Every single time that I talk about a band that I like, it's usually like 20 to 30 minutes. So let's not make it longer, and let's start with Half Life, and let's also put the lyrics. Put the lyrics. And you see, I always do that on the fly because very professional. Yeah, let's listen to Livingstone Half Life. Oh,
It's just genetic, it's written in your DNA. It's symptomatic, at least that's what the doctors say. It's in your nature, finding darkness in the brightest day. But here we are.
so I'm sorry, but if you, I'm gonna put the musics on the link on the description of the video. But if you want to listen to them without my interruptions, go ahead because I'm gonna keep pausing a lot because every single time that I make those videos and I choose the songs, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never looked at the lyrics before, and they say, "Oh, but you don't understand English?" And I say, "Yes, I understand, but most of the time, I can separate listening to a song than translating in my head and understanding what they're saying." So that's why this is so exciting for me as well because every single time that I do those videos, I notice why I like these songs. I notice why they're catchy in my point of view, but why the lyrics have such a power over me. Reference. And this is a good thing. So is genetic, is on your DNA, is symptomatic. At least it's what the doctors say. Is on your nature. Fighting darkness in brightest day. Fighting darkness on the brightest day. So the main part is it doesn't matter if you're having the greatest day in your life, you can always find something that is gonna pull you down. It doesn't matter if you're surrounded by friends. It's in your nature, it's on your DNA, it's your genetics. Because I already talked this a couple of times on this channel. Humans, my understanding again, because I'm not literally things, humans remember things that happens to them, worst thing that happens to them, more than the good things that happen to them. That sucks. So if you had a bad experience, you're gonna tell everybody about your bad experience. That is easily see on the reviewed of items. Because if you have a good one, the good one just passes through. But when you have a bad one, oh boy, let's talk about it. Because they're holding a grudge and not seeing the good things that life's brought to it. So I think this is a very powerful start, saying that is in our nature. It's things that we cannot control. We find bad things on good things that we have. But here we are.
'Cause you were made from stars to live a life you never loved.
Again, that's not that's more like a romantic thing to say, because I can interpret as a big bang, and then you're living a life that you don't have a choice. But
So if this is the last night and you're feeling hollow, I'll give you my half-life so you'll see tomorrow. There isn't anywhere that I wouldn't follow. I'm chasing your last light to wherever I go.
oh, I love this part. Oh my god, I love it so much. The way that he sings, you can feel like the sentiment behind it. It's not just like a flat reading. It's like if if this is the last night that you feeling hollow, I give you my half-life so you see tomorrow. So it's basically saying, if you're desperate and you're not seeing a way to get out of it, don't give up on life. I'm here to give you my half-life. I'm giving you half of my whole life so we can see the tomorrow. So you will be able to live another day. I'm here together with you. There is anywhere that I wouldn't follow. There is anywhere that I wouldn't go to save you. I'm chasing your last light. So to wherever I go. So I'm basically with you, and I'm not gonna give you up. Don't give up. The life, the brighter day, you're just seeing the darkness of it. Trying to see to the other side. That is another song. Oh my god, reference. Trying to see the other side, trying to look forward. The moment that you're feeling desperate, it's just a moment. You need to remember that happiness is not forever. Happiness is not a thing that you can have every single day with your life. Because if all the feelings that you have is happiness, you're never ever feel happiness, because that's not how it works. You need to pass through the bad times so you can finally feel the happiness. And if you give up, if this is your last night and you're feeling hollow, if you're feeling that is not enough, remember that I am here and I'm gonna help you to see the tomorrow, to see the future, to see the bright side, to see the brightest day that you can have, even if you find darkness on it. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, our elements change into chemical traces, reactions that they'll never know. If this is the last time that we'll ever borrow, I'll give you my half-life so you'll see tomorrow.
And again, he goes back to biology, to chemicals, to our nature. Our elements change into chemical traces because there's a line of science that say that every sentiment that you feel is basically a chemical reaction in your brain. So I think he's going on that way, like reactions. So sometimes you don't doesn't control. So when you have depression, you can go to a doctor to receive medications to help you prevent those chemical reactions. And again, for me, this part is the main part of the music for me, because I will give you my half life so you see tomorrow. I'm gonna sacrifice myself because I love you so much that I want you to see tomorrow. If this is the last time that we ever borrow, so if this is the last time that we're gonna face each other to talk, I'm gonna give you all that you ask for it. I'm gonna give you half of my life because I cannot. This is another point that is so clearly and so much important for me, because he's not gonna say I'm gonna give you my whole life. I'm gonna give you half of my life because I still need to live. I'm gonna help you with whatever you need, but I still need to have my own life. I cannot sacrifice myself to help you achieve happiness or help you get over your trouble, sacrificing myself on the problem. I'm here to help you, not to put myself the place that you are, so you can get out of it. So I'm gonna give you half of what I have to help you pass on it, but I cannot give you my all. It's not because I don't love you, it's not because I don't like you, but it's because I need my life as well. And ooh, the choices. When people speak that music is art, I could not be more assertive of it, because you have those songs that is completely trash, that is basically made to make money, but you have these songs that express so much, create so much hope, so much interesting content that redeems itself.
You know I said it, I'd never let you fade away. It's energetic, the bond was never meant to break. You were made from scars to live a life you'd rise above.
And again, the way that he's saying is basically trying to make the other person understand that, I'm never gonna give up on you. It's energetic. A bond was never meant to break. Sometimes you're too trapped on your own mentality, your own mental space, that you cannot see the solution. You cannot see any light. You cannot see the bright side of life. You are made from scars to live a life you haven't raised above. The whole thing is, everyone has scars. Everyone has trouble. Everyone has a different point of view on their lives. But the thing is, the scars that you have make who you are. Without those scars, you're not gonna be you anymore. I know that the scars hurt, but if you just give up and being your last night, and you're feeling hollow because of the scars, the mental trouble that you have on your mind, I'll be there for you. I'm gonna give you my half life so you can see the tomorrow.
So if this is the last night and you're feeling hollow, I'll give you my half-life so you'll see tomorrow. There isn't anywhere that I wouldn't follow. I'm chasing your last light to wherever I go. Oh, elements change into chemical traces, reactions that they'll never know.
Again, this is just repeating, but makes you. Now I'm gonna go more to the way that he sings. Looks like a friend or a lover trying to reach out someone saying I'm suffering too because I cannot live a life without you. Don't give up. I'm here for you. If this is your last night and you're feeling hollow, I give you my half-life so you see tomorrow. There isn't anywhere that I wouldn't follow. I'm chasing your last night to wherever I go.
If this is the last time that we'll ever borrow, I'll give you my half-life so you'll see tomorrow. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. If this is the last time that we'll ever borrow, I'll give you my half-life so you'll see tomorrow. So if this is the last time, I'll give you my half-life so you'll see tomorrow. There isn't any way I'm chasing your last light to wherever I go. Oh, elements
Changing to chemical traces, reactions that I never know. If this is the last time
that we'll ever borrow,
I'm giving you my half-life so you'll see tomorrow. And this goes again and again. I'm giving you my half-life so you
if this
can
is the
see
last
tomorrow.
time that we'll ever borrow,
I'm giving you my half-life so you see tomorrow. Oh, you know what I mean? This guy, not this one, but every single artist that I try to bring up on a channel is just to show you the hope, the life. You're not alone. You can always be more. Don't give up. For the second song that I kind of make a little contest for it is trying to see. Oh no, it's not Red Hot Chili Peppers. This one. It's exactly trying to. Come on, help me. Come on, Google. So it's exactly trying to show. Oh my God, so much ads. It's trying to show that you're not alone in your life and you can always look to the brighter side. You can always look to the other side.
could take it all back, but I said it. I wish that my words didn't cut like
Oh, it?
I wish I could take it all back, but I said it. I wish that my words didn't cut like weapons. I wish I could throw my hands up to the heavens. Give up my mistakes for the price of a blessing. Brother told me these are the nights that we live for. But when I see the tears in mama's eyes, what is this for? I can see the people with their fires and their pitchforks screaming out, isn't this the life that you wished for?
Let's dissect. I know that I'm almost like blocking the letters, but I wish I can take it all back, but I said it. Sometimes you're just angry and you cannot think straight. So you said things that you regret. Every single person regret something. You cannot live without regret, but you cannot let your regret hold you down. You need to learn with your mistakes, not make you scared to leave it again. I wish you my words don't cut like weapons. Basically saying that the things that he said before, the things that we say, sometimes hurt more than we can understand. This goes back to the I hate bringing this on, but it's the thing that my brain works. So these days we're oversensible with the topics. We are overreacting. I know that words can hurt, but it's not like any words can hurt. It hurts way more if you know that person, of course. If I just go out to the street and say, "You're ugly," that is completely different than to a random person. It's completely different than my friend asks me, "Oh, what do you think about this?" and I say, "That's ugly." So is the context difference. I know both ways you could have chose. Let's suppose that it's true. You could have chose to lie and make the other one feel better, but you decided to go through because sometimes you can take back what you said, and sometimes your opinion, this is mine, hurt people. But in these days, everyone is getting hurt without any cautions. It's like too fragile. That is my point. Everyone is too scared to the things and breaking easily. I wish I can throw my hands to the heaven and just say, "Okay, I give up. Take whatever you want. I'm sorry." Giving up my mistakes from the price of a blessing. Brother told me these are the nights that we live for, and this, my audience, is one of the dangerous things that you can say. A couple of let's go to story time, I guess, because when I was younger, I had a friend, Arthur. Love you, man. And I said to him, he was always upset with things that happens with his family and things that happens on the school. And I told him, you need to imagine a big red button that is right at fucked it and doesn't and didn't do not care with the consequences because that's not gonna change your life. I wish I could take that back, but I said it. There was basically telling him to not care about the others, but he took it so literal that it damaged the relationships with his family and the other friends. And I wish I could take back because these are not the nights that we live for. I now that I'm older and wiser, I can say that we need to have balance. Sometimes people talk shit to you and you can just ignore it. Sometimes your opinion doesn't matter, so you need to restrain yourself of getting frustrated in the things that you cannot change. But other things is don't bring people to the problem that you have. Don't make people do the same mistake that you have, but you don't know that you're doing a mistake. I can tell this is a mistake. You should never live with one thing in mind. You should never, for example, this phrase, I heard it countless times when I was out in the parties and in my friend's house and everybody was getting drunk without any responsibilities. And everybody was saying, "This is the night that we live for." Basically, trying to say that all of the rest is the rest, and the getting wasted and completely crazy is the life that we live for. And I think that is not. Because after that, when you see tears in the eyes of the person that you love, in this case, mama, it's really worth it. It was really worth it. You sacrifice yourself, sacrifice your health, sacrifice your friends for a night. Life is not one night, it's countless nights, it's countless days. You need to remember that you need to live through the day to get in the night. You should not sacrifice your day for a night. That's what I'm trying to go for it. I can see people with their fires and their pitchforks trying to chase out you because of the mistakes that you made. Screaming out, isn't this the life what you wish for? Going back to here. I think is a beautiful I think it's a beautiful way to relate those two phrases. The mistakes that you made, people gonna remember those ones. And it's gonna go after you to say, this is not what you wanted.
Young boy living with a price on my head. Better run through the night or I'm better off dead. Chase the flames in your eyes while the fire burns red. And I'm scared to die, but I'm too afraid to live.
And this continue the problem. The mistakes that you have made, the people is gonna make you account for it. Because it's not just gonna be everything, it's not gonna be forget it. You're gonna live with a price on your head. You're gonna know that that everybody knows the mistakes that you did. You're gonna try to run. You're gonna think that it's better just to end it because the mistakes that you made are hunting you. You're scared to die because everybody fears death. But in the end, running away from your problems, running away from your responsibilities, you're just scared to live. Rarely are the cases that you could not live with your mistakes, learn from it. But again, even if you're the most radical one, even if you kill someone, you can still make it better. You can still make it peace with the persons that you inflicted, the family that you ruined. You're gonna pay for it. Some countries you're gonna pay for it with your life. But the words you said, you cannot take it back. But you cannot let that weight you down and want you an easy way out. Because you want to die, you want just an easy way out, you're not going to own the responsibilities and the problems that you created. So, please be responsible. So,
would you take my hand or let me fly? Fix my soul or run and hide. The words you said was not goodbye. I'll find you again on the other side. Who the hell am I? On the other side. Who the hell am I? On the other side. The words you said was not goodbye. I'll find you again on the other side.
and then we can say, not want to get like that visual, but you're gonna hold my hand and you're gonna let me jump out of the ledge and let me fly? Or you're gonna take my hand and try to save me? Are you gonna fix my soul? Or are you just gonna ignore me and run and hide? The word you said was not goodbye, but I see you on the other side. Who the hell am I on the other side? I'm in heaven or I'm in hell? Who the hell I'm on to the other side? I don't want to go to a very religious view of this part, but my religion believes that if you regret it, if you truly regret it, you can have salvation. Because the whole problem is everyone makes mistakes. Everyone is imperfect. But the whole thing is you can choose to continue to be imperfect or you can choose to make it better. You can choose to try to own your responsibilities and all the harmful things that you did, or you can just run away and hide. You're gonna try to fix your own soul, you're gonna try to help the other person that is desperate, or you're just gonna hide. You're gonna hold my hand or let me fly. the word you said was not goodbye. Because in this point of view, my understanding is life after death. But in my point of view is there is no there is I don't think there is a life after death, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be the best of your version on the only life that you have. I don't know if we can reincarnate it, but okay.
Why'd I trade my life for a taste of the glory? Look at all the pages I burned for a story. I live inside a world that'll end in the morning. Seconds turn to hours when the clock is crying for me.
And this goes again, like going back to why should I give all of the things that I built this for away for one night? Why I trade all my life's work for a moment of glory, for a moment of everybody's gonna get up and applaud, saying, "Oh yeah, you're amazing," but you sacrifice the whole life that you have for that moment of glory. Look at all the pages that I burn of the story. Live it inside a world that will end it in the morning. Because when you live it for this night, you don't. Oh, I already talked about that. That's good to know. You don't know what's gonna happen in the morning, but probably you're gonna be responsible for the things that you did. Nobody will forget the mistakes you made in the night. You're living in the night, but the morning always comes. Second turns to hours when the clock is crying for me.
Young boy living with a price on my head.
Better run through the night, or I'm better off dead. Just the flames in your eyes while the
fire burns red, and I'm scared to
die, but I'm too afraid to live.
Would you take my hand or let me fly? Fix my soul over and high. The words you said was not goodbye. I'll find you again on the other side. Who the hell am I? On the other side. Who the hell am I? On the other side. The words you said was not goodbye. I'll find you again on the other side.
And that goes again and again with you need, if you're not taking responsibilities here,
would you take my hand or let me fly? Fix my soul or run and hide. The word you said was not goodbye. I'll find you again on the other side. Who the hell am I? On the other side. Who the hell am I? On the other side. The word you said was not goodbye. I'll find you again on the other side. Who the hell am I? On the other side. Who the hell am I? On the other side. The word you said was not goodbye. I'll find you again on the other side.
Yep. And to end this video, what's better to end with the shadow? I have like those two are the most, the things that I remember more when I think about a Livingstone. But I choose shadow. Let me see. Oh, for example, Fairy Tale is a very big for me as well. The other, the brainstorm and everything, but shadow for me is something like, gonna see. one foot
in the ground, 1 foot in the grave. Don't you dare make a sound. Shh, hear you from a mile away. Run from the town. All you need is your name and the sweat on your brow and the blood running through your veins. Don't think twice. You'll be dead in a second. Turn your eyes and your hands to the heavens. Kill your pride. Turn your fear to a weapon. And don't you forget it.
Oh. Because, again, I don't know if I have much to say about this song, but the thing that I see is I really like this song because of the rhythm of it. Not just because I don't think about the message that much because of the previous ones, but the rhythm. The 1 foot in the ground, 1 foot in the grave. Don't you dare make a sound. Shh. Da-da, from the miles away, run to the town. All you need is your name and the swear to the brown. The blood and run through your veins. Don't think twice, you'll be dead in the second. Turn your eyes to the heavens in the heaven. Kill your pride to the end to the weapon. And don't you forget it. And the rhythm for me is so nice. It looks like I'm in a swing of emotions and swing of ideas. Because you're alive or you're dead, don't make a sound. I can hear you from far away. Run from the town. You just need your name. To swear I'm gonna hunt you down.
Get it? Don't you let him take control. Don't you let him take your soul. It's not the devil that you thought. It's just your shadow on the floor.
Again, the melody, the way, the expression. I love the singer because of it. The range that he can reach. Don't let it take control. Like the control is going away from you. Don't let them break your soul. Like your soul is shattering. It's not the devil at your door. It's just a shadow on the floor. Ugh.
One eye on the clock, one eye on the mirror. Take a step through your thoughts. Is it getting clearer if they follow you whenever night falls? We used to listen to my call. Who do you trust in knowing it all?
Know it all.
Don't think twice. You'll be dead in a second. Turn your eyes. Turn your hands to the heavens. Kill your pride. Turn your fear into a weapon.
And don't you forget it.
Don't you let him take control. Don't you let him break your soul. It's not the devil that you don't. It's just your shadow on the floor.
I'm sorry, I couldn't have like any good explanations for why I like this song. I just really like it, the rhythm and the way that he sings it. Because I think it's like so creative and so with so much expression and so much passion that I just have fun listening. Again, guys, not every music needs to be very philosophical about it. Sometimes you just listen music to have fun.
Tell me that you hate me, that I heard it all before. There's a life here for the taking. Is it mine or is it yours? All I am is what you make me. You're on both sides of the wall. It's not the devil that you're facing. It's your shadow on the floor.
He's just a shadow on the floor. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching it. That was Livingstone. So that's why I really appreciate it. If you didn't know and you liked it, just know the guy. I really like the songs. You have like, I show you three. I have at least four songs that I like it more than those ones. So yeah, you're going for a treat. And this is my opinion as always. Thank you so much for listening. See you on the next one. Bye. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of This Is My Opinion. And today we're gonna talk about a very good anime. The same creators as Hunter x Hunter. I'm talking about not other than Yu Yu Hakusho. What can I say about Yu Yu Hakusho except that this anime is great? It's one of the first animes that I watched back in Brazil. The dub on Portuguese was legendary because they localize all those jokes that Yusuke Urameshi makes. So Yusuke Urameshi is like the main character. And then I can. Where's the. Oh, here. Anime list. So, what is the story about Yu Yu Hakusho? For me, I completely agree with my anime list. My score is an 8.5. Because 8.5? No, I'm going to go to the 8. Why I go in 8? Because this anime has a little bit about everything. They started as every single anime that you know. The protagonist is funny, he makes a lot of jokes, learn new powers, learns that the world is way bigger than you can imagine. And then discover new friends and discover new powers and goes to a torment. Because since it's a fighting anime, you have a lot of tournaments. So you have the tournaments to train, to get like a new trainer. A tournament of darkness, a tournament of a bigger darkness, and then a tournament to decide who's the Devil King. And the how can I say that, the seasons, the arcs of the story is basically like the different tournaments that you have. You have like the first arc that is when he was like a detective, and then you have like other arcs for um, you have arcs for the tournaments that you have after that. Recently, Netflix did a live action. I didn't watch the live action adaptation. I tried to watch it the first episode, but I just like eh. But the whole thing is that anime is part of my childhood, so that's why I love it so much. And the opening, this one, the Smile Bomb. Oh my god, Smile Bomb is terrible. I think Smile Bomb is in English. Oh. No, for me, this music can only be or in Portuguese or in English. But the whole point is, Urameshi is a very fun guy. He makes the jokes all the time. Looks like Spider-Man, making jokes in the battle. But he fights very well, and the fights, they're very choreographic. So you have like punches, you have powers, you have like a good shonen powers that you have. His main power is a ray gun. It's basically a punch that he can shoot. So he makes ray gun. The shot that he did is basically when they start the anime is the strength of a punch. So his power is basically punching from far away. And then you have the Coabra, that is the guy who can see spirits. He's like the Urameshi's rival. He can make a sword beam. Sword beam is always good. And then you have Kyohei. It's basically a demon that wants to get more powers. So you have Kurama. a very androgynous type of guy, but and you have the opening that is amazing, and is an as you can see, it's a very old anime. It's like a 1990 anime, but the fights still hold up. The story is fun. I don't know the Japanese version because I only watch it in Portuguese, but still. I don't know if I can show the opening because copyright strikes, but the my point it follows. Like this music is iconic, and as you know, he is the same creator as Hunter x Hunter. So if you like Hunter x Hunter and you're looking for something to watch, you can always watch Yu Yu Hakusho. And for me, Yu Yu Hakusho is better than Hunter x Hunter because Yu Yu Hakusho you don't have like the overtopping things that happens later seasons of Hunter x Hunter, but you still have a very concise torment fighting story. So if you like fights and you like powers and you like the protagonist getting better and fighting the odds to win in the end, that's a good anime for you. You have good music, you have good characters, and I like that story so much that I watched the anime when I was younger. I think I watched it like a couple of times because when you're in the past, when you're younger, you just watch the things on the TV, so you could not uh, follow the structure of normal episodes. So I rewatch it, and I also buy all the mangas volumes. So I read it, all of it, and I can say for sure that the ending of the anime is better. It's more satisfied because you have like the grand fights and everything. When you go to the manga, they basically just oh no, I think they're like pretty close one of each other. I'm sorry everyone. I was confusing. I was thinking about Shaman King. The anime and the manga from Yu Yu Hakusho, they're I think 1-to-1 is a very faithful adaptation. But still, I don't increase my score. Sorry, 8 is a good anime. It's a very good anime that you can just watch it and have fun, learn new powers, saying Legan. It's classic. It's iconic. This word is being used like a lot these days, but the my point is you just need to I usually review those animes trying to show you guys old animes that probably nobody knows. Even though this is a very popular one, I think they should be better because everyone praised Hunter x Hunter so much that Yu Yu Hakusho basically went dark. And Yu Yu Hakusho is a complete story. Only for that is already better than Hunter x Hunter. I love Hunter x Hunter, but Yu Yu Hakusho has a complete story. So you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Hunter x Hunter, the guy don't want to work. So what can we do? So yeah, 8, Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho, Ghost Philos in English. Yeah, I think you can watch it on Crunchyroll, maybe on Netflix since Netflix released the live action. That's a good question. Where I can watch it, Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, if you can, just watch the original series. I know the anime is like dated because it's old and you have like those animation cuts that you have, but I didn't watch the live action, so I cannot confirm. For what I watched it from the live action, it was like pretty close to the source material. But again, I just watched like the first 2 episodes, and yeah, I couldn't recommend more. Yu Yu Hakusho. See you on the next one. Thank you so much. Hola, ¿qué pasa? Mi nombre es Cayo. Uh, Hi, my name is Caio, and welcome to another episode of This Is My Opinion. And the anime that I'm gonna talk about it today is a anime that is just one season, unfortunately, and that's why I was so sad and upset about it, because they have like a huge following for this anime, but in the end, they just have like one season. I don't know why. I heard a rumor that it's basically because of like licensing issues or something like that. They have just one season and one movie. The last thing that you heard about this anime was in the movie that was like in 2017. But the anime that I want to talk about today is No Game No Life. I know. Wait, wait. I have to talk about it. Wait. I know that is kind of itchy. I know that is kind of strange, the relationships between the brothers, the Shiro and Sora. But wait, the why I like this anime so much. I completely agree with the my anime list score is an 8 anime. The score was like on point. It's an 8. The main point is the world building. The whole idea behind it, you have a world where it's all the conflict of the world needs to be solved by a game is amazing. For me, our life should be more like that. And the whole point about this, the story, like a quick summary about it, is those two brothers. They're named like Kohaku, that I think is basically like empty or blank. Oh, here it's blank. I can read. It's blank, and they're going to these different dimensions. So it's an isekai. I love isekai, and they are basically the best players in the world. So every single game they play, they are master of it, and they go to this world to trying to save the humanity because humanity doesn't have any special powers, and all the other races plays games and abuse their powers to win. So how they go there is like really funny because they literally win against the god of games. And they went to this world where everything is decided by games, and they're the best players ever. And is the fun about this anime is to see how humans can use logic and interpretation and gaps on the rulebook to win those games. And during the anime, you see a couple of games. You see rock paper scissors. You see chess. You see a shooting random game that you have. You see a word game with the against the angel, and it's very creative the way they are always winning because it's not just I am the best. Is this is the logic behind it, my victory, and that's why I really like it, and I think they should have continued with it because the whole idea of you need to play a game. Yeah, they came from a light novel, and the whole idea behind it, you need to win a game to continue to, because the final thing is they want the human race. Sorry, they want the human race to be the main species again because humans was they were basically renegated because elves can listen better. Those angel things can have like a hyper thinking process and everything. So they needed basically hackers of the whole every single game to win against those ones, and that's why it's so funny to see what is the idea they come up that can win against literally special abilities of the other races. And that's why I couldn't recommend more No Game No Life. If you like Kaiji, that is another anime that I really like that is goes on point of this topic. I think even Kaiji is better than No Game No Life, But why I like No Game No Life better? Because No Game No Life has a fantasy element on it. Unfortunately, they have Ichi, and they have a very strange relationship between those two brothers. But they have a very good way to play those games. So if you can look past through the Ichi stuff and the weird relationship between brothers, you can have a great anime with great strategy and nice games that you can think about it and see, oh, if I were in that situation, what should I do? And I really like to think about it. It's similar to Kaiji on that kind of point because Kaiji is basically an anime where like I have like a huge depth and they need to play different games to win the depth, risking his life. I'm gonna talk about in the channel in the future, but the whole idea of having mystical creatures, having magic, having powers, gods, to a more fantastic scenario, I think this is why I really like No Game No Life. So in summary, if I need to boil it down to a thing, it's basically magic kaiji. And yeah, thank you so much. Again, this is another opinion that I have. I'm sorry if you're thinking that I'm not pure anymore because of it, but this is life and this is my opinion. So thank you so much and see you on the next one. Hello, hello, hello. So I see you there, and I think. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. This is Kaio now. You're talking with my Severance before. Ooh, such a shit comedy. Because the thing that we're gonna talk about today is Severance. Is Apple TV Apple TV series Severance is amazing. This series is great. The photography, the story, the idea behind it is great as well. So I'm gonna give it like a 8.5. Since you're here just for my score, you can click it out now. But I'm just gonna talk about a little bit about Severance and talk about why I think Severance is a good concept. I really like the first season. I, I my story with Severance is all of my friends watched Severance the first season when it was releasing and everyone recommended. But for me, I would just say, "Oh, okay, I watch it sometimes." And then I discovered that Severance has had like a huge cliffhanger on the first season, and then I just no, I'm just gonna wait for more. So when the second season was releasing, I watched the whole first season and the second season, and watched it basically when released the last season. I watched it with my wife, and we really like it. The problem is the story didn't finish. They are too greedy to finish the fucking story, and that makes me so upset. I love the series, I love the characters, I love the idea behind the Severance. So if you're new here and you didn't watch Severance, uh, uh what is the Severance? Severance is basically a type of medical procedures that you can make that can separate your conscience in two. So you have your work conscience and your outside work conscience. So you have your severance. So basically, you go to a place, uh, go to an elevator, and then you become a severance. Uh, and then it's basically you work, you do the whole work in for you, which looks like 5 seconds, and then you can go home and have fun. But your severance is working for you on those severance floors. And the whole idea about severance is interesting because you're a lot of people already do that, not with a magical procedures, but they live a separate life between work life and a real life ish. That can I say? Because some people are completely different type of persons when they're working, and when they go out of work, they are brand new type of persons. I could not do that. For me, I'm 100% gonna go with a Severin procedures because thinking about it, you just need to drive to work. If they're paying, I'm not sure how much they're paying in the series because we never know, but they are giving homes and they're paying something. Because Mark, the main characters, his home is paid by the company, and he just go and literally enters in the elevator, then goes out of the elevator. 5 hours has passed. You don't remember anything. You just need to go home and enjoy your life. For me, that is a dream. Think about you never needed to quote work again because your severant self is working. And when you watch the series, that is the first thing that you think. But with the series going on and on, uh, your opinion tends to change. Mine didn't, but it tends to because when we watched like the first episode of Severance, I watched it with my wife and I say, "Do you want to? Did you uh think about making the Severance?" And she say, "Yeah, why not? It looks fun. Think about not working." And I say, "Yeah, exactly." In the end of the first season, she said, "No, I would never do that." And I just like, I will still doing that. But again, they needed to have like a good salary that I don't need to worry about it. But with enough money, I don't care about it. And the series goes around and then you follow Mark and about like the intrigues because it's a thriller. So that's why I don't want to say it much what happened there. I'm basically explaining the concept behind it. It's a sci-fi thing because you have like elements of uh, this absurd technology, but all of the cars and all of the rest of the technology, like computers and things, are like kind of old. So you don't know what's actually is going on there, and it's interesting. You have a mystery, of course, to see what's going on, what they actually do, what the Severance works on, and those things. And it's interesting. Again, it's a good series. I think like 9 is too much, so I'm just gonna give it an 8. I don't recall if I'm changing my score, but yeah, that's what I'm feeling like it. I think 8 is more than enough for Severance because after a while, when you start watching the episodes, looks like they are looping, like they're not going forward as much as you want to. So it looks like you're wasting time, like you're advancing the story, but not with a pace that you could. And you can also see like the second season have like I think 1 or 2 episodes that I look at my wife and say, this is a completely waste of time. They could have done the plot of this episode in 20 minutes, not 60. So, and this is the thing that for me it becomes to show the greediness of the writers. Because the first season, I was thinking that was precise. It was consistent, it was fast, everything happens. You have plot twists, and plot twists, you have things that makes you want more. But on the second seasons, you still have those ones, but between episodes, like you have some episodes that you just watch and then you see, okay, that's interesting, but what that thing related to the problem that we have facing right now? Okay, that's interesting to see the background of a character, but I really don't care about this character. I want to see what's happening right now. And you basically wasted a one episode doing a background of an interesting character, sure. But it could have been like 20 minutes and you can have done the exact same thing with the exact same result. You don't need it to waste like one full episode of it. And again, for me, the biggest problem of the season 2 was not to finish the series because they had the opportunity. I'm not one to go with a very spoiler like territory because it's a good series. You should watch it if you have Apple Plus or Apple TV. But the final episode of the final episode of the first season was awesome. It was great. It was tense. It was fast. You're every single minute of that episode, you're in the edge of your seat thinking about what's going on. Something wrong's gonna happen, or oh, this is the end, or our protagonists are screwed. The end of the second season, you had the same vibe, except the previous episode and the last one, because you still have a lot of stakes on it, but a major twist happens, and you're just like, I understand why it's coming, but you could have just finished the series if you want to. I completely understand your point of view and your goals and your objective. I'm not upset for it, but you could have finished the series. That was the main argument that I have. Instead of just finish it and have two great seasons, they gonna risk it on a third one or in a fourth one. We don't know if the other one is gonna be good as well. I know that both the first and the second one are. The second one will be. You sure? I don't know. Again, the because the whole thing is the ending of the first season and the start of the second one, they had a time skip, and that was interesting. Now they have like a huge problem. I know they're trying to say that love is the biggest thing that you have, the concept of individuality, the freedom of choice, who is the real me. The real me is the me who's outside, or is the me who is in a job. Because I'm real for me, even if I'm not real for you. But the whole problem, my point of view, is they just wanted more. Because they could easily, literally in the last decision of the episode, they could just choose the right one. In my point of view, the one they choose is the wrong one. When you watch it, you're gonna see it exactly the choices the main character have, the Mark. But he could have choose the right one, and then just finish the series. And you didn't even. And the good thing is, if you'd had choose the the second option, the option they didn't go with, you could have just ended. You just don't need it a third season. You could have a third season if you really want to, because you can make up with the things that happens on the end of the second season. But they decided to go wild and go crazy with the things that doesn't even make sense. That is the main point of it, because the ending of the second season is that stupid. The they all the choices that they made to go there could just the outside ones, like the evil corporation, could just like do 3 steps, and then the whole system crumble down. Yeah, stupid decisions. Again, stupid characters make stupid decisions. I know they're human too, but yeah, that was my opinion on Severance. So thank you so much for watching, and I see you on the next one. Bye.
Yeah, this is Billiam, and I finally feel comfortable saying I live in Florida because I've wrestled in.
Hi, welcome to another episode of This Is My Opinion. This episode is gonna be very short, as you know this on the timestamps, because I'm just gonna talk about a YouTuber that I'm following like for a while now. I think like 3, 4 years, maybe more. And just let's go. Is Billiam. That is my recommendation for you. Again, subscribe. And what is a billion? Billion is basically a YouTuber that he called himself a hipster trash that talks about a lot of random stuff. Like they talk about like TV shows, AI games. They talk about the History Channel, the TLC, the Spike, Mythbusters, and old TV shows, old toys, and random products. He had like an episode on psychics. And for me, why I'm recommending this? Because it's a good nostalgia point. Because the way that he did is a very good work. You see the passion behind it. And what made me choose his channel as one of the ones that I want to share with you guys is this series, the Lost um, retrospective. I didn't watch Lost. I didn't watch anything about Lost, but I watched this series. I'm literally on the last episode, so he made it 5 episodes of Lost, the series, and as you can see, as the timestamps here, 3 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, 7 hours, 9 hours. The guy made like more than 24 hours of lost content. 24? F6, 12. Yeah, more than 24 hours of lost content. And the everything around it, the details around this thing, it is amazing because he did like such a good job that I couldn't even explain. I didn't watch anything about Lost, but I feel like it that I can talk with my brother that watched everything, and I'm not gonna be missing out, and then I can cite occurrences and talk about things in the plot and everything because so much detail that he guys put on his videos. And it's not just detail about the
Industry ch-
series, but details about everything around Lost. Details about the cast members. Details about the director. The details about the characters in the movie, in the movie, the series, and the relationships between them. The idea, the thoughts, the goals, the dreams, and everything that the interpretations is amazing, and the way he does is so fun. I'd rather watch it like 24 hours of this guy talking about the series that have like 6 seasons instead of just watching the seasons because it's so dynamic and you have like so much more information cramp it up that you don't have like uh the blanks gaps like, oh, let's see the beach view. And if he does that type of job for other series, I'm probably gonna watch it again. For example, I know that you are watching me, Billion. Thank you so much for your work. Do it Friends thing, a Friends recap, retrospective, because I'm never gonna watch Friends, but I will if you do that, and I would love to watch it, Friends, through your eyes. That is the main point that I'm gonna say. And it's not just that. I know he's like this guy deserved at least 1 million subscribers because the work and the amount of research and the amount of passion he put it on every single video that he does is crazy. He's not just a guy like me that does this for a hobby or for a type of diary. Oh, he did Once Upon a Time series as well that I watched all of them. It was funny, but it's not just uh, it looks like a professional. That is the main point that I'm trying to pass on. It's not just your average YouTuber let's play react videos. It's not a reaction. It's more like a journalist job. I could not even imagine the amount of work this guy needs to do to create those videos like that. The editing and everything. It's great. It's great. That's why I'm just recommending him for you guys. I know this video usually is not that big because I don't have like any complex things to say about the channels that I recommend. But go there, subscribe. That's good reminding me for the future if I forget to check the videos from this guy. I know that I'm gonna have like blast watching uh even I don't know AI games. I know that I'm. Oh, that's a good point. I need to watch this video. I didn't watch this one, but that is my point. I know the quality is there, and it's gonna be great. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching again. I know that that one was fast, and I'm gonna put the link of his channel on the description, and see you on the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another video. I know that probably you're already tired of seeing my beautiful face, but I have a job to do. I have to review every game that I finish on this channel. If I finish a game, they're gonna be here. I play most of the game on my spare time, so that's why I really like to show you guys what I'm playing and what I recommend or regret of playing. And this is gonna be a fun video because we're gonna talk about High on Life. So what is High on Life? High on Life is a first-person shooter game that the main gimmick is your weapons can talk and can make a lot of jokes. It's the same creators as Rick and Morty, so you have that view of jokes and comedy that is gonna be related. Thank you Kotaku for the gameplay that I'm gonna show on my video. Um, uh, you can see like this guy, the main gun, is voiced by the Morty, I think, of Rick and Morty. And the story is basically you're a guy, and then you have a alien invasion on Earth. They basically went there and tried to use humans as drugs. You escape it, luckily, because of that gun. And you went there to the station, and now you're a bounty hunter, trying to hunt down the drug cartel to save Earth, basically speaking. And now you're gonna have like different weapons. So you have this one that is a pistol. You're gonna have a shotgun, a grenade launcher, kind of bazooka-ish. You have a BG BFG, so big fucking gun, on the end of the game. And yeah, it's very fun. And the thing is, I had fun. So I'm just gonna give my score. So I give it a 7. Why I give it a 7? Because it's a very short game, but that's a plus. Because I'm gonna just let the gameplay roll a little bit. I'm gonna, before you buy that, I like it more than Kotaku. I love game ranks. I'm gonna recommend this one without they need it, but in another video. But for me, this game has the perfect amount of time. I think I spent like 10 hours ish on this game, and when I finish it, I was starting to feel like a repetitive game. And why I say that? Because you have a very minimal changes of gameplay. You have a couple of worlds, I think it's 4, and then you go world to world, you shoot enemies, you go forward, do some parkour, enhance and repeat. The story is fun-ish. You have some points of the story, like with talking with those knockoff teddy bears, that for me was like dragging on too much. But you have different weapons. You have a machine gun and everything, and all the weapons have like different reactions and different phrases. Even your knife, and was fun. But it was beginning to start to be repetitive because you have those open world ish that, especially this stage, I was completely lost on it, and then I have like to go in like back and forth multiple times. It wasn't only on this phase. The other one was on when I got like the machine gun. I was just like completely lost, and I spent like a lot of time trying to go to a place that I should. But the whole idea is having fun. Just forget about it, kill some aliens, find different guns, listen to the crazy shit that happens, and hence and repeat. And after a couple hours, you kill the big bad guy. Someone make a heroic sacrifice, and then that's it. That's the end of the game. You learn new powers. You have like different jetpack. You have different jetpacks. You have life. You have shield. Every weapon has like a normal shot and a secondary shot. So basically, this gun, the secondary shot is like a grenade that he shoots and makes everybody float in the air for a time. And it was fun. If you don't like the type of humor of Rick and Morty, you're not gonna like this game at all because it's a very heavy on those type of humors, and the gun doesn't shut up. It's every single time like commenting stuff. Sometimes it was hard, like these ones. It was hard, like you have like an arena that you have like to survive for an amount of time. It was fun. Again, the I'm giving it a 7 because the game is, first of all, above average. Second of all, they know the type of game they are, and they didn't try to go longer than they should. They didn't try to be like a Ubisoft game that you're gonna be hunting down question marks forever. They didn't try to be like over the topic, a Call of Duty action that you need to do the same thing and kill like a bunch of guys over and over again. They try to change the phases, they try to change the scenarios. They make jokes about like the bosses. And if you farm, if you grind the money that you have and make like wise decisions, you basically can destroy every single boss easily because you can just swap the weapon, shoot your strongest shot, and then go to the next one. And that thing's why that game deserves like a 7, because they didn't overwhelm their stay. They stay long enough for you to have fun and move on. Great. What else can I say? Yeah, that was my completely honest opinion of High on Life. And again, I get that game for free on the Apple, the PlayStation store, because PlayStation sometimes give good games for free. So I just play it and have fun. And thank you so much for watching, and I see you on the next one. This is my opinion. Again, thank you so much. Bye bye. Welcome to This Is My Opinion. My name is Caio, and today we're gonna talk about another YouTube channel that I'm gonna recommend for you guys. So if you like video games, you should have subscribed in Game Ranks. I know that I'm a huge channel in comparison to Game Ranks, and my 2 followers probably don't care. But I recommend Game Ranks because I think it's a very good channel if you like video games at all. Because they do like a kind of reviews in before you buy that is showing their opinions. That's why I relate it so much. Show their opinions with the gameplays they have, the games they play, and they play almost every single big title that you can think of. So they have new videos like every single day, and they have like lists of compilations and curiosities and things that you can expect, and that's why am recommending that to you guys. It's a very big channel. They have giveaways, I think. I don't trust that much of giveaways, but they are a news channel focused on the games, and then I see that they are not uh, woke and left ish people, because I didn't see any agenda or propaganda uh, for those type of things. I'm they are trying to be neutral. That is my point that I'm trying to say. They are in favor of good games, and if a game is bad, they're gonna say that the game is bad. That's why I really like, and they're like fun sometimes. So if you wanted to know more about video games and watch some trailers and some honest reviews, GameRanks. This video is not gonna be that long because again I don't have anything much to say about YouTube channels. It's just like a easy recommendation. So thank you so much and see you on the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hello, hello. As you see, today is not gonna be anything about games, anything about anime, anything about YouTube, or anything about music. Today is gonna be basically a conversation between moi and you guys, because I want to talk about uh, a very point that I'm really tired of seeing is the political fight against left and right wing. I'm not afraid of the left wing because they're the only ones that you should be afraid of. But I really not align with the right wing as well. So I like to in Brazil I like to say that I'm a liberal, but that's a wrong thing to say in English because it's basically I'm a libertarian. Let's say like that. For me, I believe that you should have liberty to choose your things and vote with your wallet, basically speaking. And what things that I seen more and more these days is the fight against left and right. But for me, you should have that impasse, but you need to remember that the other person is a human being too. That especially goes to the left, that literally wants to kill everybody that doesn't agree with them. Because sometimes you need to see different point of views to try to understand the world better. I love video games, I love anime, I love movies, and I love music. Music, let's take a stab in one categories at a time. Starting with music. Music is not that effect of it because since you have such a wide range of music and such a wide range of artists, you can always choose to not go and to not support those artists because you have like so much more. You have some artists that quote lose their ways, but again, you can just always listening to their old great songs. You don't need to follow up the new songs to know that it's better or not. That is my main point of it. That's why music is not affected with the agenda as much as possible because for a consumer perspective, that's not affect us, but for the performance perspective, affected a lot because they're not getting the contracts, they're not getting the money for stay alive as a band or anything. If you're not left wing, they're not gonna be supported of you. That sucks. They're changing more on these days, like in 2025, since Trump won the election of the United States. They're changing a lot of their point of view of it, which thing is great. But for me, you shouldn't have to the in the end art that goes like for every topic that I'm gonna talk about this video, because art in the end is subjective. So if you like something, just like the thing that you have, but don't want the other thing to fail. Just don't support it. If the thing failed because they didn't have a support it, I think it's because it never were good in the first point. But we're gonna see. Yeah. Uh, the second topic that I want to say is about YouTube. You have a lot of channels on YouTube that is focused on fighting against the woke virus. I'm completely 100% support those channels even if they suffer a backlash. Like for example, in Portuguese, I follow Traje Cômico. That is a very important channel for me because they're basically open up the doors for me about the way that I think nowadays. There's basically you need to respect the other person, but you do not need to follow what they wanted to you to do because you're yourself. You don't need to sacrifice your liberty to please the other person. You have the Whatever podcast. You have Crucible with Andrew Williams. You have Pierce Morgan. Uh, all of those channels talk about the more traditional viewpoint, and I think it's the right one because literally the right one. Uh, because when you're in those days nowadays, you see that the world is coming to an end. Everyone is so focused on me, like individualistic, that we are missing the things that make us humanity itself as a great power. Our communication, our ways to accept the other, the difference of the other. But now everything boils down to racism, transphobia, misogynistic, pornography. Let's see what else. That to the left wing, to the right, that you lost the ability to make concessions. Because, in my understanding, more and more, these days is going down a lot, especially thanks to like Gamergate 2 or the right opposing more to the left because for the last 10 years all you have is those big companies putting out garbage, ideological garbage, and most of which is basically there to doctrinate the young people, to try to show them, look, you can be a cow that have multiple genders instead of just two. Crazy point of view. Or letting kids to have like transition to be like a transgender kid. That's crazy. Or legalizing drugs. I'm in favor of the liberty of expression, about liberty in all points. So if you are free, you can have your own choices. But don't make me paying for your choices. For example, if you want to transition, if you want to be a transgender, fine, you can be whatever you want, but don't make me pay for your surgery with my taxes. That is a no-brainer for me. If you want to buy drugs, fine, but your liberty ends when mine starts. So if you're buying drugs and you are decided to drive after and you hit your car on mine, don't wait for the government to pay the bill. You're gonna be completely responsible for it. You need the other problem is these days most of people are not being responsible for their decisions. So they're more and more trying to run away from their responsibilities. And that's crazy because they're just trying to make you view their point of view and not a responsible way to do it. For example, uh, when you're doing, when you're putting out there racist statements and saying that you cannot be racist against white, that doesn't make sense. That's completely bullshit. Because racist is prejudice against race. That is the meaning of the word. The word. Sorry if you don't agree. I don't care. That is the meaning of the word. If you say, oh no, racist needs to be prejudiced against, prejudiced with power, plus power, something like that. That is the so this thing is so rooted in our society. That is the things that my friends say to me, and I say, are you stupid? That doesn't make any sense. Even though, let's say that things happen, so you're basically saying, and you're saying that it's not possible to have racism against white people, and they say yes, and I say okay, let's go this way. I think I already talked about it with my racist video, but this is gonna be like way more straightforward. Let's say that you have a person in a position of power that is black, a dean on a university, that he's gonna interview you, and then he's gonna decide if you're gonna enter or not in the university. So he has two files. You have your file, that you're a white person that exceeds in all of the academics, you just a straight A student. And you have the other file, that is a black kid that is middle ground. I'm not gonna say that he's a bad student. I'm just gonna say he's average. He's passed it on everything. He could have entered, but the dean needs to choose between one of two. Which one do you think they're gonna choose? You're gonna think they're gonna choose a white kid that is more capable of? Yeah, I completely agree. That's not racist. But if we choose the other kid because he is black, the only reason is because he's black, that's racist. Because you're favoring one race against the other one. If both of them are the same, it's not racist to choose one or the other because they are the same. That is why I cannot like equalize those things. The same thing goes if you're a black dean and you choose a black kid that is straight A's instead of a white kid that is average. If you choose the black one, okay, no problem. If you choose the white one because the white one is white, that's racist. It's not that complex, guys. Please, it's a prejudice against race. It's the same thing. If you're in Brazil, we have like a saying: "There's nothing more dangerous than two guys on a motorcycle." But you can say, "Oh, two white guys in a motorcycle, that's fine. Two black guys in a motorcycle, you need to be careful." No, that's racist. That is the whole point that I'm trying to convey here. Racism is against race, not against a specific race. You cannot say that you have the roots of the problem is in the past. Could be, but I who and you who are living right now doesn't have meetings to fix the past, because the other thing that I talk about it is about indigenous, the First Nation, the First Nation payback. Let's call it that way. And my first question is, when you're gonna finish your payback? They never gonna say anything. When you're gonna fix the damage that you did to their culture? The same thing goes with blacks, because in Brazil for some reason, they have quotes on the college for black people, for trans. I think some colleges have for trans, or they're trying to pass on. But 100% they have for blacks. So when we're gonna finish to don't have like quotas for blacks anymore? Because for me, quotas for blacks, you're racist, because you're basically prioritizing a race against the other. So you're racist. Oh, but blacks doesn't have any more, don't have any, how can I call it? Opportunities to go to the university without quotas. Quotes. And I say, okay, that is a problem that is way below the margin that you cannot fix just giving quotas from them. Instead of trying to reorganize the society, fixing the schools, trying to do better training with police officers to not, for them to not be racist and have like a racist encounters with black people just because they're black, trying to fix a society, they trying to put like a band-aid on it and call it a day. For me, that's wrong. The same thing goes for trans and every other things. You could you can be trans. I'm not saying that you cannot be, but my problem is when you're trying to force the trans ideology on other people, or like multi-gender ideology on the other people, on our kids. For example, when you're trying to change a language, when you're trying to include they them pronouns, which doesn't make sense, because the way that you're just trying to do, you're just trying to get attention. Because my point of view, again, my opinion, that's why I'm not changing screen, so you can see every single time that this is my opinion, is okay, you can be a transgender person, but you can never be a they. Okay, because they is multiple people. Easy. But okay, let's say that I am a guy and I transition as a girl. Now, guess what? Your pronouns is she, her. Easy. Easy. If you're a girl that goes to a boy, your pronouns are he, him. Easy. You don't have ze, they, you don't have they, them, you don't have the combat helicopter. And my whole point is, you can do that, but you need to be careful. In my life, in my personal life, I know trans people in my personal life. The thing is, statistically speaking, I should not. But I know three. That is the point that I'm gonna convey. I know three people that is relatively close to me that are trans. It was two guys who transitioned to a girl and a girl who transitioned to a guy. My main point is, statistically speaking, I should know one or no one, because they should be 0.0001% of the society. They shouldn't not be a relative percentage of the society, because that's not natural. that doesn't make sense. And usually you can fix the trans problem with psychology, with psychiatry, talking about your feelings, trying to understand. Body dysphoria can happen, but it's rare. The problem with this society is because we are overing exposing things and we are creating a contagious disease. It's not a disease. That's why I'm quoting. It's like a virus in a way that it spreads fast. It's not a virus as a sickness, but it's a virus as a way that is spreading. The Brazilian channel that I talked at before, Tragicômico, he talks a lot about that as well. Is a society contagious thing. So basically, you're just making the new generations more aware of this possibility and forcing them to make a decision. So every single time they have a dilemma on their lives, they are thinking about those topics and can relate the problem they're feeling with this solution. In the way that, let's give a very basic example. Mary likes to play soccer. Mary likes to play soccer with boys. So, but Mary doesn't identify herself as a girl because Mary is a child. So, what is the best solution? Choose one. Let Mary grow up and decided for herself that she doesn't feel like a girl and transition. After, for me, it shouldn't even be 18. It should have been like 21 or something. Option B. Make a Mary transition now because she wants to be accepted as a boy, and sooner he does it, more like a boy Mary is gonna be. Or 3. Doesn't do shit like we always have been doing that is working, and Mary's gonna see, oh, I can still like soccer and be a girl. That works for ages. You don't need to interfere in those type of things because they're gonna solve themselves. The thing that you can do is just let Mary play football with the guys. Oh, but Mary's gonna be destroyed. Yes, because she's a girl. But when you're younger, the difference between sex is not that predominant. So until certain of age, men and women, they are basically have the same bodies. Like exaggerating a lot, they basically have the same body strength, body type, body format, and everything. Exaggerating, of course. And the difference between when you're aging and when you have your how do they call it? The adolescence, and then you grow older, the difference become like more and more clearly, because men's are usually, most of the time, stronger than women. And the problem with the society these days is because they don't want to accept facts as a reality. They just want to see facts as a suggestion. I think that's a good saying. They don't want to accept facts, the real facts, the science facts, the biology facts, as facts. They want to think them as a suggestion. Instead of you setting the stone saying you can have male and female, you can have man and woman, they are different. You're just blurring the lines and creating more sexes that doesn't really make any sense. Your preference doesn't doesn't affect your gender. So if you don't feel attractive to men or women, you're like pansexual. I think is that the name of it? I'm not very sure, but my point is, okay, that's your preference, but you're still a woman. or a man. That doesn't matter. Each one of them. And the other thing goes for okay, the main point is when you're the not the main point. The point that I'm trying to make is what is the difference between gays and lesbians? Because gays are two men that like each other. Lesbians are two women that like each other. But both of them are homosexual because they like the same sex. Okay, that's happened. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying that's happened. I say that it shouldn't be that common. Unfortunately, the way that we're living those days, every everyone is a little bit gay and every woman is a little bit lesbian. But it shouldn't be that way. I mean, I'm not saying that you cannot like the person that you like. I'm just saying that you're complicated things. I'm not saying stop. I'm just saying that if we continue the way that we're doing things, the society is gonna ruin because we're not having enough children for to continuate our populations. Our populations are basically dying, except like some random countries like China or India that you have like or some African countries that you have like an enormous boon of natality. That doesn't make any sense for me. But let's continue our list of things. So on anime, that is a good thing because since Japan is so exclusive on those things, basically animes and manhwaras, that is the thing that I read the most, are not affected by DIY or gender things or the woke virus. But in other hands, series and animated series that could have been great are completely destroyed by it, like Shiha or Shiha. I think Shiha. The I need to. If you go to Netflix and you go like to the animations, a lot of Netflix original animations, you can see the woke on their things. The most recent one that I remember, the Devil May Cry. They they basically transform Dante, the guy that should be like a badass demon hunter, as a coadjuvant on his own show, and give the protagonist a status for a a girl. I'm not saying that the girl was useless on their games, but she was not Dante. That is the main point. And those things, of course, go to the games. Like the whole Gamergate 2 movement is an awesome movement that is finally having results for not destroying, but showing how those games really are. For example, all of the Sweet Baby Inc.'s titles are sad. I fell into the trap, but after I fell into a Sweet Baby Inc. trap two times because I really was expecting the Spider-Man 2 game and the new God of War. When I played those ones, I feel I felt weird. Like some things didn't make sense. Like for example, Kratos be instead of being a tough dad, being like a more weak version of himself, not being strong emotionally as well, just being strong physically, or having like angry Boda, a person that a girl that should be like Nordic being black. How Nordics are black doesn't make sense. Or in Spider-Man 2, when they are basically sideline Peter Parker to raise Miles Morales because Peter was a pussy. Literally, when I was playing, the part that get me so upset on that game was like when Peter was fighting against Transform Mary Jane. Mary Jane is another character. that completely was ruined by the game. So they're fighting, and Mary Jane throws like a fridge on Spider-Man. Spider-Man, who's have super strength, and the guy was basically knocked out. The other scene was basically the Miles save Peter in the end, because Miles is the black cool new kid on the block, because they have tons of more power than Peter, and more smart, more fast, have better powers, better sense of responsibilities, and Peter was just like a pussy that didn't even fight against their own symbiotic thing, because he was a weak little guy. Or they're transforming Mary Jane with, first of all, remodeling her character to look ugly as fuck. And considering the first game, she was beautiful. I love it. Second game, she was ugly. Oh my god, she was so ugly. But that's not the main issue. The main issue was she basically had like a 6 month training with Cyberwolf, and then she was literally hunting the Craven's hunters. The guys who trained like for years were losing for a Mary Jane Watson with a stun gun. And those are those things, because I bought those games. I was expecting so much of it, and the Last of Us killing Joel and making Ellie and the new Abby, like, okay, I don't even know how Abby got like so strong in The Last of Us, because I didn't know that protein shake was that prevalent on the apocalypse, or like bomba. Uh, but my point is making her fight like men 3 times her size and make her easily win against them. That's not how it works. But sure. And those games are could have been like so much more if it wasn't for like the Sweet Baby Inc. or like some DIY agenda. And I really appreciate the Gamergate 2 movement to show up and say, oh, those games are progressive, doesn't make any sense, don't buy it. And then I'm not gonna buy it. Like after that, I never going to buy. Like for example, they're saying that I love Ghost of Tsushima, but they're saying that the Ghost of Yotei, the second Ghost of Tsushima game, is gonna be woke. So I'm not gonna buy it, even if I really like the first one. And those things is the most important thing is vote with your wallet. Dragon Age Vanguard was completely destroyed because nobody wants to play with Tav, uh, girl that have like different pronouns and blah blah blah, or playing Assassin's Creed Shadows instead of playing with a Japanese ninja. Ninja play like a black samurai in Assassin's Creed game. You can have a ninja, a fucking ninja. You decided to go with a black samurai. What the fuck, Ubisoft? That is those things that doesn't really make sense. The choices they make to please people that doesn't really want to play the games because they're not the target audience. Why are you making games for them? Instead of me, the guy who plays thousands of games. Okay, thousands is a lot. Hundreds of games every year. But no, they rather to release the games for 50 people and to please the agenda and say, oh, we're not transphobic, we're not racist, instead of putting out the best game they can. And to end the topic is about series. The amount of I don't watch a lot of series, but I can see how they're putting up as women are as capable as men, or putting like trans characters. Okay, fine, you can have trans characters in your series, but don't. Yeah, that is a point. You can have those things, but based on reality. Don't make them like better than the white average man because usually they are not. Like in even in our society, like I was seeing a video the other day saying they lowered the standards for police women because the police women cannot perform as well as a man. So why there are police women on the streets? That doesn't make sense. Okay, you need to have like a more sensible side, yeah, but don't let them patrol. Let them be like a special unit or something. Because if a guy tried to fight with a policeman, uh, probably it's gonna be like 1-to-1 fight. If a guy tried to fight as a policewoman, he can easily steal her gun, and now you have a crazy guy with a police gun in his hand. And those problem with trying to group both genders, like men and women are not different, goes on and on and on forever. But the main point is, uh, like let's close up my statement. Is there's no problem about being different. I'm not against your differences, but I'm against of the way that the society is exploiting the difference between people. I'm against you're trying to transition children. Yeah, I'm against you're trying to win something just because of a race, your color, your gender, your sex, because you're disadvantages on the society. I'm against women getting preferences because they're just women. That doesn't happen. That doesn't make sense. You should hire the best employee, not a woman because she is. The government shouldn't. You can if you want to because you're a private company, but the government shouldn't make you do it. For example, I heard that they trying to force Uber in Brazil to hire 50% of women in the cars as well, like as the drivers. But so if they cannot hire more men, that doesn't make sense. Everyone lost, and in the end, just because women don't want to do those type of jobs, and their choice to not work in those type of industry. You cannot artificially inflate the numbers just to look more correct to society. And in the end, like if you're boiling down everything that I said, if you squeezed as much as information that I tried to pass on this video, it's basically we are different. We cannot perform as the same. We have different abilities. We have different uh, builds. We have different way to think. We have different way to act. So there's nothing wrong in being different. It's kind of strange the white guy saying it's kind of strange. The white guy saying we should approve all the difference and not trying to prioritize any other of it. Because the race, your color of your skin doesn't make you better. You can be a better person, but not because you're black, not because you're white, not because you're Asian, because you choose to be. You can be a crazy ass policewoman because you choose to be, not because it's the normal, it's the exception. That is my takeaway of it. You just need to remember that everybody's is different and you need to set it up places for everybody. And you need to love the other, not judge, not trying to brainwash the children to have your army in the future. That is the things that I'm trying to go for it. But yeah, thank you so much. I think I went like a little bit overboard on this topic, but as always, this is my opinion and I love to talk about it. See you on the next one. Thank you.